All right, so I work for IBM. I'm a developer advocate. I've been working with legal hackers for a few years, also in my previous jobs. I think I'm really interested in legal language as a subset of human language. So I think it's sort of the first step towards removing humans from the whole process. So I think that's quite a challenge. So what I wanted to present here is how easy it is to actually get started with a lot of these legal tools. We've been, like a lot of people have been talking about what we should be doing, where we should be going towards, but the step from design thinking to actual implementation is much smaller than you might think. Just touching upon these 4 points, cloud, any startup, any growth company should be on cloud. A lot of the tools are on cloud. I want to talk about Watson as an NLP engine, blockchain, and then quickly data science. So this is IBM's Cloud Platform, and there's about 200 services on there, but the main ones I want to talk about was the conversation, which is the essence of a chatbot, the discovery, which is sort of an enterprise search or an NLP analytical search engine. And that consists also of natural language understanding, which helps you break down text and structure text and analyze it. Both of these can be trained by custom models using the Watson Knowledge Studio, which is sort of this tool. So I'm not sure if everybody can see this, but this is basically as simple as a chatbot will look like. I think I can teach anybody how to build a chatbot in probably 30 minutes. It's like developer or non-developer. It's like super simple. It's essentially you're building a dialogue tree, and there's like no coding involved. You just write down your tree of the dialogue that you recognize at an abstract level. You implement it, and the tool itself will recognize where in the dialogue the user enters and guides the conversation from there. So it's super simple. It's so simple, I hate to talk about it very often to developers because it's really boring. This is the discovery tool. So the discovery tool, who's familiar with enterprise search systems that can index like thousands, millions of documents, and you can do these analytical text contextual searches. So that's basically what this is. You have your data. You create sort of your custom model by annotating the text, breaking down the text, and then you have your queries against the documents that you stored, and you get your outputs. So this is just the UI for the service. This is just a view on an indexed set of documents. This is just the query view, so all these services are available through APIs. So for developers, you built this as a non-developer, as a domain logic expert, and then the developer sort of makes use of it, consumes it. Same thing with this one. But then the more interesting part is this Watson Knowledge Studio. So as a domain expert, as a lawyer, you can look at your text and you can annotate it the way, I think the New York Times has this whole human annotation project going on with their news indexes, their corpus. And you as a lawyer can do the same thing. You upload your document, you annotate it. I'm building with one of the IP lawyers at IBM, I'm building this patent claim analyzer. So he's doing all the annotation. And this is an example. So I create these entity types that are the basic building blocks of my sentences. So if you saw the previous presentation, the common forms, is roughly been doing the same thing. Like you create your building blocks of your entities in the sentence, you annotate it, and then you add the relationships between the entities, and that's sort of your abstract document. And then also you build your dictionary. So if there's like legal terms, you build your domain-specific legal terms in a dictionary, and the two together are being generated into this custom model that you can then, that's basically the value of your business. That's applied to all kind of documents that you have in your discovery tool, for instance. The next part is blockchain. Who's not familiar with blockchain is a better question these days. Yeah, and as it should be. So I think blockchain is for multiple reasons interesting. It's not just a financial assets management system, but it's anything of value, which could be data or anything else that can be exchanged between parties. So it's can be applied in many ways. But amongst others, also smart contracts. You know, so I think as a lawyer, maybe smart contracts is of interest. This is on our cloud system, like with one click, you install a whole blockchain service, a whole blockchain network. So it's really great to get started if you want to play around with it. This is an example. And this is the data science experience. So once you have the previous natural language processing tools, that will give you some hardcore data that is more structured, that can be used for statistical input. So if you have all your analytical data from the NLP, you'll have now your structured data, your probabilities, that you can then use in statistical analysis. So that's the next step. But this is more for statisticians, I think. The other purpose that I wanted to say, if you're, I like to work with legal hackers. So if you're anywhere in one of these cities, we have developer advocates like myself there. So if you want to connect to IBMers, and you know, we can do anything from workshops, collaborate with you on projects, give like trainings, whatever. Then call that. If you're not in one of these cities, try contact me anyway, because we have like 380,000 people around the world. So there's always someone somewhere from IBM, I've noticed. And this is my contact information. All right, so that's all I wanted to talk about today. Any questions? No? Okay, good, thanks.